Did you see Alexia and Marisol's face and Kiki's face?
Yes.
Everyone's face except for Julia's face.
Yes.
And Julia, she didn't give a surprise face, and she didn't deny it.
She never denied it.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode number 19, Reunion Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That's all I can say is whoa.
I could not agree with your whoa more. This was a lot to digest.
It was. And when they dropped the bombshell at the end of last episode, I said there's got to be a bigger one coming. And boy, was I right.
Yeah. I did notice that Marisol definitely knew that Julia was going to say this because her face when Julia said it was all telling. She definitely knew she was going to say that. And so, therefore, Alexia knew.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, those two. Marisol is in with the producers.
She's the puppet master.
It is very, very obvious. And before we break this down, I will say this. If they get rid of Guerdy, if Guerdy does not come back next season, I may stop watching this.
I'm right there with you.
But the only way I would continue to watch it is if our listeners and viewers want me to watch it and break it down, then I will watch it for them. But for me, I will not watch it for me. I will not do it. I will do it for our listeners. But if they get rid of Guerdy, I am so aggravated with Bravo and Andy about how Guerdy is being treated.
Because he's not calling them out on it at all.
No, he's not.
He's letting them get away with it.
And yeah, and we'll get to it where it happens because he brushes it off and it aggravates me. It really aggravates me. We start out kind of where we left off with Julia dropping the bombshell about her sleeping with Adriana or Adriana, whatever her name is, Adriana. And
I know
she's
everybody
laughing.
calls her something different, but I guess maybe it's just like a dialect thing. Like
I think so.
Yeah.
She's literally laughing at it, you know? She admits it happened before the friend engagement, and Lisa's sitting there saying this makes no sense. Julia said she was ashamed and embarrassed and that Martina knows. So Lisa says, well, then why are you bringing it up then? Which is kind of what I said before, not, last episode. Not why are you bringing it up, but like, what does this have to do with anything? This has nothing to do with anything that we were talking about.
Right. Except that Julia says that she brought it up because she was being psychologically abused by Adriana.
Yeah. Yeah. And Guerdy and Lisa and Adriana, all the ones that are on the same couch over there, and even Stephanie, because Stephanie's on that couch too, they're all shocked at this, right? Larsa jumps in and says, you guys are being insensitive. Let her talk. What? And Andy's like, well, I would like to hear this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Julia says, when Adriana came into my life 4 years ago, I was in a horrible state. I was not in the best place in my marriage with Martina. It wasn't great.
And she said Adriana knew she was in a bad place.
She was also grieving the departure of her daughters. So Adriana said, yeah, I did know this. And Julia said, I trusted you. And Julia said, I felt like I was muzzled by Adriana. I was afraid of everything. She controlled my friendships. No.
Yeah. She blackmailed her.
Right.
She was blackmailing.
Yeah. Andy says, because you were worried that she was going to tell Martina or the women. And Julia said, yeah, she was blackmailing me. Lisa gasps, literally gasps with her mouth open. I'm like, she kept telling me, you're here because of me. You owe me your paycheck. And then they cut to that scene where Adriana at the Art Basel is saying it was unseen. But she
did say, I'm the reason you're in this group.
She did. And she probably was the reason she was in the group. I mean, I think that's probably true.
Don't you think as Martina's wife, you would have gotten a spot on the show anyway? Like, Adriana was just a friend of at this point. I feel like if Bravo wanted you, Bravo wanted you. And why wouldn't they want you? You're Martina's wife. I don't know. I mean, we saw Adriana say it, so there's no way she can say she didn't say it.
No, right,
But
and she didn't say she
personally,
didn't say it. She
I
didn't.
feel like Julia's giving her too much credit. Like, I think Julia would have been on the show no matter whether she was Adriana's friend or not.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
it could be, but I think maybe she's the one who introduced her to the group. I
Yeah,
don't know. Like, who knows?
yeah.
Andy says to Adriana, "You slept with Julia?" Like he's questioning it. And Adriana said, "Well, many times, many times. I sleep with her in the same bed." And then Kiki gasps, like again with her mouth open. Andy said, "So you had sex with her in the Hamptons?" And she said, like, "No, I don't. I don't have a dick. Like, I don't have a dick." And Lisa's
Which is
laughing
a little
hysterical.
insulting to lesbians everywhere, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, I know what she's saying, but
I
it's
don't know that
like
it's insulting to lesbians. Honestly, that response to me, what I got from her is her idea of sex is intercourse.
right,
That
right,
is Adriana's in her mind, intercourse is sex, right?
right,
That's what I
right.
got from her. And Andy said, "Well, you can have sex without a dick." And Adriana said, "Not really." And then Stephanie's like, "Well, it's called scissoring." Adriana said, "Well, we slept and we slept together and we kissed. I never scissored anybody." So as soon as she said that, like, "I never scissored anybody," that's, even when she said the dick thing, in her mind,
Yeah,
like, she didn't have sex with her.
right.
She
She said
didn't.
there was heavy petting, which, we all know what that means.
Well, they didn't because they wanted a
I think
explanation.
yeah, well, they were just pushing for more details, which
Yeah.
thankfully we didn't get because we don't need them.
No, we don't. We don't need them.
Mm-mm.
And then then Adriana brings up the whole thing about Julia's changing her name to Yulia, from Yulia to Julia, that she's a spy. I'm like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. I was here with you this whole time until you threw the spy thing out and her changing her name." I was like, "What?"
Oh my god, I totally agree. That was a moot point, Yulia to Julia.
Absolutely. But then I think it's very interesting that the first person Andy and the only person Andy really asks is Marisol, like what her reaction was.
Yes, unless he asked the other ones and they just didn't show it, but yeah, it looks like he only asks her.
Yeah. And she said, she believes like, yeah, like a one night thing. And she also Andy said, "Well, do you believe Adriana would hold it over her?" And she's like, "Yeah, I believe.
Of
I
course she's
believe."
gonna say yes.
Right, exactly. And then Andy asks the question, who here thinks Adriana and Julia had an affair? And then the ladies start asking, like, for clarification on affair, like, clarify, like, what does that mean? Like, did they slept together? Julia's whole couch raises their hand. They all believe
Mhm.
it, right? And then Lisa and Guerdy are like, they don't really and then Larsa starts saying to Lisa, you know as well, like, trying to get Lisa to change her answer. And Lisa's like, listen, Julia's married. Adriana's single.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, to say that is really, and then Kiki jumps in. Well, listen, hold on, people. Like, some people maybe have an open relationship, and Lisa's like, well, do you and Martina have? And she's like, no, no, we don't. But Martina does know now. I told her 6 or 8 months ago.
Mhm. So she
This happened,
didn't tell her when it happened,
right? Not 4 years ago.
but now we know why, because what else Adriana dropped.
Yeah. And Adriana's like, listen, this was, and I agree with her. This was totally, she knew she was going to tell, Martina knew she was going to bring it up at the reunion. And Adriana's like, yeah, because this was all planned. And it was all planned.
For sure.
It
For
was total,
sure this
it
was
was,
all planned.
and like you said, Marisol and Alexia knew about it.
100%.
They knew about it. Kiki didn't know about it. You could see by her reaction. Stephanie did not know about it. You could see by her reaction. I'm
Yeah,
not
and I don't
sure
think
about
Lisa and Guerdy
Larsa.
knew either.
No,
I'm sure Larsa knew. I'm sure Marisol and Alexia told Larsa.
no, Lisa and Guerdy definitely did not know. They were totally shocked.
Stephanie didn't know. Her
Stephanie
reactions were so good.
I know. Stephanie's reactions were awesome. Andy asked, why is it important for you to say this, tonight? And Julia said, well, because I feel like there's so many misconceptions that I couldn't speak my truth. I needed Adriana to hear from me that I did not ditch my best friend. Wait, you're trying to make up with her
Right,
by telling this?
right,
Seriously?
right.
I mean, how convoluted is that? Like, that makes no sense. And this is why she could not be the godmother because of what happened. Okay. I mean,
So Adriana says Julia was in a bad place and was cheating on Martina with a Haitian mortician. And then she had another lover that was a cop.
yes.
I mean, when she said the Haitian mortician thing, and then she said that you had to buy him a coffee machine, I'm like, where did that go from?
That
Why did
was
she have to buy him a coffee machine?
that was the bombshell of all bombshells, and you knew that that was a bombshell because, first of all, Julia didn't look surprised, but did you see Alexia and Marisol's face and Kiki's face?
Yes.
Everyone's face except for Julia's face. And
Yes.
Julia, she didn't give a surprise face, and she didn't deny it. She
She
didn't deny
never
it.
denied it, and I love that Andy's only question, or first question was, "Why did you have to buy him a coffee machine?"
Exactly, exactly. And she's like, "Well, that I don't know. This is not true." Like, that was honestly, that is the best reunion moment of all time.
I agree. I
Of
thought
all
that
time.
was I
Of
mean,
all time.
because it's just interesting to me that did Julia not think Adriana had this information, did she not think she was gonna say it? Because I'm sorry, I don't think there's anything wrong with Adriana spouting that out, because Julia just shared intimate details about Adriana's sex life
Right, 100%.
on that stage. So, you cannot now turn around. It's like if it's good for you, it's good for me. Sorry.
And that's exactly what Adriana said. "Listen, I had no intentions of ever sharing this, but now you've opened that door. So I'm gonna put everything out there. Yeah, I did know your marriage was in a bad place, and you were sleeping with a Haitian mortician."
Buying them coffee machines.
I still wanna know about the coffee maker. You had to
For
pay for the
sure.
hotel, you had to pay for the champagne, and then you had to buy him a coffee maker.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
We're two husbands.
Each other's husbands.
Join us as we share our gay 40-something perspectives on all the Real Housewives shows.
We bring a balanced take on all the Housewives drama without the shouting matches or hot takes you see all over social media.
Catch us the day after each episode drops. Watch on YouTube or Spotify or listen wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And find everything at husbandswatchinghousewives.com.
From Beverly Hills to Potomac.
We're here to stir the pot responsibly.
Sounds like you were getting the bad end of the stick here, Julia. Sounds like you were the sugar mama in this situation.
I don't get it.
But I'm, and I text you and cousin Gina about this. I'm starting to believe that this is why Julia's daughters have an issue with the adoption. Clearly, and nobody's marriage is perfect, but if there has been a history of infidelities in this marriage, those girls must have seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe don't want these young boys to go through the same thing they went through.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That would make more sense than whatever bullshit story Julia's trying to give us about the girls having a problem with the adoption, that they weren't involved. I'm sure it's this.
I mean, the other thing is, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see that supposedly Martina is contacting an attorney.
I think that's an AI thing. I don't
do
know
too.
if that's true, right? Yeah, I think that's an AI post.
I hope so.
Me too.
I mean, I hope so because of the boys.
Right.
I mean, seriously, because of the boys. Like,
Right.
you've now brought these two innocent boys into this mess.
Yep.
It's a mess.
Yep. So did Martina not know about the Haitian mortician and the cop?
Well, Julius says that she did, but I doubt that she did.
I doubt she did too.
I doubt that she did. And she said her girls know everything. And she said,
Right. So
Right.
That's my point right there.
Yeah.
Why? Why do your daughters know about your infidelities? Remember, was it last season or the season Larsa said to her, I heard a rumor that you were kissing a guy in a club. Well, clearly that rumor was true, I'm sure.
it was probably could have been the Haitian mortician.
Could have been the Haitian mortician
Or the cop. Could have been the cop.
or the cop. I mean, it's crazy.
And Adriana says, listen, you have a pattern of cheating. You're a liar and you're a cheater. I 100% agree with her.
Yeah. And she's like, you cheat on your wife and I'm the bad guy?
Yeah.
No. Adriana is single. I mean, yes, it was disrespectful to Martina, but she's not in a relationship with Martina.
Yeah, it was right. Exactly. And she's like, I told Adriana in confidence and now maliciously she's trying to shame me. And
Just like you just did to her 5 minutes ago.
And Guerdy said, she's always a victim, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
She's always
Yeah.
a victim. Adriana said, you have on a mask. You're not who you say you are. You are promiscuous and you cheat on your wife. And listen, it's obvious. We see how flirty she is, how she
Very
kisses.
flirty.
We see it every episode. We see it.
Yes. Yes.
And then Andy says, it's like, let's go to a break. But before we go to the break, I want you and I want Julia and Adriana to think about, like, when we came into this, you said you were going to try and find our way back to each other. He had that conversation with Adriana. He did not have that conversation with Julia. And Adriana said, well, that was before this came out. There's no way that they're going to find their way back to each other. There's no
And why
way.
would she want to?
No.
Why would Adriana want to?
I believe that Adriana went there hoping that they could make up. But after Julia did that, there was no way that they're going to make up. There's no way.
They weren't going to make up anyway because Julia wants to be in with Marisol and Alexia. This is very clear. And now she is. We saw her at the Virtual Reality Awards. She was up their ass. She looks at them with this gaze in her eyes.
Yeah.
Like she's looking at Elvis. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is. It really is weird. It is. Adriana says, yeah, until this promiscuous one trying to make me the bad guy. Adriana gets up and says, I would never go for you. You're a dirty little whore. And then she moved into the pink light. And she's like, all right, she's in the pink light. We gotta go on break. I'm like, okay. So then as they're walking out, Julia and Alexia, Andy's there and Andy's asking her all these questions. Like Julia's saying she felt horrible for 4 years. She couldn't speak her truth. Andy's like, well, did you sleep together more than once? And Julia says, no, we slept together once and then we fooled around at the Versace mansion. And he's like, oh, was that Alexia's bachelorette party? And, yes, it was. And Julie said, I didn't say it to spread gossip. Like, I never betrayed Adriana. Absolutely, you did.
You just did 5 minutes ago.
Right. She said, I still love her. I'm like,
a very strange way of showing your love.
Yeah, I guess you still love Martina, too, all the cheating that you did on her. And he's like, is Martina going to be upset when she sees this? Julie said, well, she knows. I told her. He goes, she knows? And what did she say when you told her you were going to say this? Well, she said, Julia, like, why do you have to say this? Like, you don't have to put this out there. And Julia's like, no, I need to tell the truth. No.
Yeah, poor Martina's like, I'm going to be humiliated on national television now.
Right. You did not need to say this.
No, she didn't.
I feel like there's something else. When Adriana said that, I could tell everybody, I feel like there's something else that we still don't even know.
Probably.
I mean, there's a third part for a reason.
No, you're absolutely right.
I feel like there could be still yet another bombshell.
You're right. Definitely could be.
I mean, Andy asked her if she had an affair with a Haitian mortician, and Julia said TBD. But then she said affair, no. So that doesn't mean, it means she didn't have an affair.
It didn't
but
carry on.
Right, exactly. Or it could have, but she's not calling it an affair, right? So then they go back to the dressing rooms, and Julia's in her dressing room talking to Alexia and Kiki. She's like, I've been holding on to this. Lisa's in her dressing room talking to Adriana. And Adriana, when she walks back to her dressing room, says to Basquiat, listen, we need to find you a new godmother. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
So funny.
So funny.
Kiki kept asking over and over, like, intimate details. And all Julia would say was, we had sex. We had sex. Which, again, thank you. Because I don't need the gritty details. But it does.
Yes, Kiki was really pushing.
She was really pushing. And I think
Even
maybe.
Alexia.
Yeah, but I think maybe Kiki, although I do feel like Kiki does not take Adriana's side at all. Or Guerdy's, for that matter. But I do think that maybe Kiki was asking for more details to kind of feel her out to see if she thinks she's telling the truth or not.
I don't know. I think that you're right. I don't think that she takes Adriana's side. And I think that she just wanted the details.
Yeah.
Just like Alexia. Yeah. I mean, Alexia was asking intimate details too.
Yes, she was.
And Lisa, I thought it was so funny how Lisa was asking Adriana in her dressing room while she's like getting her hair done and she's like doing motions. Like, the scissor motion? And Adriana's like, no, like, I don't like that. No, never. Like, that never happened. And I believe her.
I totally believe Adriana. I think there was heavy petting.
Yep, I do too.
I think that's
it wasn't.
I think there was probably like foreplay.
It was on Julia's side. I think that,
yes.
Although Adriana was a participant, I think that she was a passive participant.
Right.
But yes, I mean, the questions that Alexia Oh, Kiki. Oh my God. I mean, I wrote this down.
You don't even
Kiki's
want to read it, do you?
I don't. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not. Julia said after Kiki asked that, she said, "Guys, we were intimate. That's it. Intimate." I was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe she's asking these questions."
And Guerdy was telling Russell about it, and she said, like, Adriana is single as single can be. So
Then we see Larsa talking to Stephanie, and Stephanie's like, uh, I don't know how we top the Haitian, right? And she's like, no, there's no topping the Haitian, right? There is none. Like, there's no topping the Haitian. Larsa said, I think she just made all that up. Stephanie said, Adriana, no, Julia is a nymph. She's like, she's in a great place right now. And, she's still making out with everybody. It's
right.
true.
And she said, like Stephanie said to Larsa, I'm sorry, but I'm not agreeing with you this time.
Yeah.
I love that she said that.
I did too. I'm not going to side with you on this one. I love that she said that too. I like that she put Larsa in her place. And I actually like that she was on the opposite couch of Larsa. And, we were talking about the placement of the seating. It actually is making a little bit more sense to me now that we're watching the reunion because Stephanie was in the first seat because, well, one, it couldn't be Adriana because she's a friend of, right? But Adriana was right next to her, right? Or was Guerdy next
No,
to her?
Adriana was the last one on the couch.
So, yeah,
It went Stephanie, Lisa,
Lisa.
Guerdy, Adriana. And then the other side was Alexia, Julia, Marisol,
Kiki. Yeah.
Listen, none of them had a big, I mean, what are they giving Alexia the first seat for? Because she's still talking about her divorce from Todd? I don't know. But none of them had anything major going on.
No.
So I guess whatever. It was just whatever. Stephanie was the new girl. She and Alexia went head to head. I guess maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah. And speaking of the divorce from Todd, the actual court papers came out this week, too.
Of him suing Bravo.
Yes, of him suing Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's so funny what a big week this was. Like, we thought after we watched Miami that Miami and the Haitian mortician was going to be the story, right? Like, that's all we were going to talk about. And then, well, I'm saying last week, I'm saying this week, but it was last week. And then all of a sudden, the Potomac, Wendy, Osefo, Eddie information drops. In addition to the Todd actual court filings lawsuit dropped. Like, this was a big Bravo
week.
Big
really
Bravo
was.
week. Really was.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to get into that whole Todd complaint. I'm sure somebody's going to break it down. The Bravo docket or
Anna posted.
Anna, yeah.
Posted the actual complaint on Instagram. I didn't read it, but
she's going to be going through it.
Yeah,
I'll
she's going to go
definitely
through.
listen to her break it down.
I will too. I will too. So while they're still in the back, Adriana hears that they're still talking, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to go in there. So she goes in there and she said, I would have taken that secret to the grave. Like, you were married. Like, I wasn't going to tell any. And I 100% believe her.
I do too. I think Adriana can be kooky at times. I don't know what she was threatening Julia with, but I don't think it was that.
I don't think it was that either. I really don't.
I really thought it had something to do with the boat. I really thought it was like, I'll tell people why you didn't want Guerdy around on that ship. And I thought it had something to do with her having an infidelity on that boat with someone.
I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe we find out in part 3. But the next thing I wrote is, I am so distracted by Adriana's corset. I can see from her back. Did you see when she went into the other room? Like, we just see her back and she's got this corset on, which I get because you're sitting on a couch and you want to look snatched. I totally get it. But I'm sorry, it was very distracting to me.
It was very distracting. Yes.
It shouldn't have been, but it was. Lexia and Marisol are talking in their dressing rooms, and Alexia said, like, I don't think I've ever been this excited to go back out from a break. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. I just want to know who did what to who.
Right.
Oh, my
You're not going to
gosh.
get the details, ladies.
You're not getting it.
Let it go.
After the break, Andy said, I just want to ask you one more time, Adriana. Did you mess around with Julia in the Hamptons? Adriana said, well, if we're going to go back to back, the first time I met Julia, like back to back, was in a luncheon on Fisher Island. And she told me, you look like Snow White. You're so pretty. I was like, wait a second. And Andy didn't want to go back that far, but she pushed to go back.
Yeah, good.
She started talking about how good my boobs were. And then she proceeds to invite me to the bathroom so that she can see them. I totally believe this entire
100%.
story. Entire story. I totally believe it. She wanted to see them, and then she showed me her butt. Julie admits it. Admits she
Yep.
showed her butt. Like, she doesn't deny it. She's like, I see a pattern. Like, now in my mind, I know that you've been crushing on me this whole time. Like, you were seducing me.
Mm-hmm.
So Andy's like, so did you or did you not mess around in the Hamptons? Adriana's like, well, I mean, she petted me. And then the ladies are like, petted? Like, did she say petted? Like, they'd never heard the word petted before.
Yeah. I mean, come on, ladies. You get it.
She's emphatically denied there was no scissoring. She said, I don't even know what her private parts look like.
Right.
I believe her.
I totally believe her too, personally. How about Andy asks Julia what her motivation was for sharing the story, and she said that Adriana asked her if she would leave Martina for her. I don't
Yeah.
believe that.
I don't either.
I just don't believe that.
No, I don't either.
I mean, because Adriana's made it very clear that she likes men. I mean, she's a sexual person, obviously. She's a flirty person. But I can't see her asking a woman to leave their partner, their wife,
I can't either.
for her.
And she also said that it was because Adriana said it would be a good storyline.
Yeah, she did say that.
I don't see her doing that either.
That I could almost believe. But I don't think she asked her to leave Martina for her. And if she did, I think it would be a joke.
I call bullshit. I totally call bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Then she talks about Adriana talks about when they were in Spain and they were in Marisol and Alexia's room and they were all drunk. And I remember that night when they were all drunk in there. And then she left and she went downstairs to her room and Julia said, follow me to my room. And then
Yeah.
she pinned her. Like, she didn't make that up. She did not make that up.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I really believe.
And Julia said, that's such a lie. I was trying to avoid you. No. Andy said, so listen, here's the deal. What's interesting tonight is when I spoke to Adriana before we came out, she was very hopeful that the two of you would reconcile. And it was Adriana that said it. That's how we know it was Adriana. Julia said, me saying that doesn't mean I hate her. I do miss the friendship. Well, you saying that is what torpedoed the friendship it will never come back. You
Ever.
totally lied.
Right.
You totally lied.
Yep.
Adriana said, do you miss the friendship or do you miss the pussy? I was like, oh, that's another good line. But then Julia asked, like, I just want to know, like, were you genuine with me?
Yeah.
Like, Julia's,
shut up.
she's still like, did you like me as a friend? Or was
Because
it part
she's got Alexia and Marisol in her ear, and they're like, she didn't really want you as a friend. She just wanted a reason to be on the show. Like, Alexia, Marisol had Alexia. They're in her ear. They're definitely in Julia's ear.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually the perfect setup for Adriana. Adriana's like, I loved you. Like, I gave you my heart.
Yeah.
And then she gets up with the box and she walks over and she gives her the box and she opens up the box and there's a heart in the box. Like, I mean,
Don't you kind of wish it was the friend-gagement ring?
that would have
I
been
kind
good.
of wish she gave her back the ring.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
And then it's over. Andy's like, okay, moving on. Which I guess really, how much more can we possibly talk about this?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
This is a tangled web, though.
It really is a tangled web. And
Yeah.
like I said, I believe we're going to come back to it again. I believe that it's going to come back.
For sure. There's a whole other episode, for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened this season.
Yeah, that's right.
I
So
mean,
then
other than them trying to take Guerdy down. But Andy's
Yeah.
clearly not even acknowledging that,
no.
which is
he's-
outrageous.
It really is outrageous. So they come back after another break, and Andy starts with Kiki. After opening up about her painful childhood, Kiki forgave her dad and leaned on him for support. And he asks, things with her dad, how they're going. And she's like, they're going good. We're taking baby steps. She's thinking now that maybe because of what happened to her in her childhood, that's why she's had such bad relationships with men and because of her childhood trauma. And she says since March of 2024, she's decided to be celibate. And I was like, oh, well, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
And Andy asked, how was it? Like, how did you find out? How was it finding out on camera that you had a little brother? And she's like, well, she was kind of surprised, but not really, because she knows who her dad is and that her dad wants to have more children. And Kiki's like, yeah, and he wants me to take care of them. That's
Financially,
crazy.
obviously.
I think more than financially. I think, I don't know.
Definitely financially, maybe maybe more.
Yeah, definitely financial. And
What
then
a
he's
loser.
I
Like him
know.
and Slade, for crying out loud. Get a job.
Yep. Then he says, Lisa, Kiki partially credits you for getting back with her dad. And, Lisa says that she wishes she could have get back time because she hadn't had a relationship with her dad. And she just started getting back together with him, plans to come to Miami and to meet the group. And he just
Yeah.
met Elle for the first time. And then he got sick and died, very quickly.
Yeah, that was
And it's
sad.
sad. It's very sad. And that's why she encouraged Kiki to, while your dad is still here, like, you still have time. Andy asked what's happening, with the threats. And she said that her dad actually got on a plane and had to go back to Haiti, even though it's a dangerous place to be, because he knew who it was. And he had to go, I guess he had to go there and threaten them. And she said, put his foot down. But I mean, I think that means threaten them,
Yeah.
that it would stop. Then Kiki says that Marisol introduced her to somebody. So she'll see how that goes. He's a nice guy, somebody from the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Andy probably knows him, I guess, because Andy spends a lot of time in the Hamptons.
Yeah, I think that's where his main house now is. Didn't he sell his place in the city?
He did sell his big penthouse in the city, but I have to imagine he's got another place in the city.
I'm sure he does. But I
Right?
think like his main residence is now in the Hamptons, which good for him.
Yeah. Then he moves on to Stephanie. He asked Stephanie, if not a chihuahua, what is your spirit animal? Well, she came up with that right away.
She sure did.
An
She was well
Afghan.
prepared for that question.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of an Afghan hound, but they win all the Westminster dog shows, so they've got a very good pedigree. Andy brings up Alexia and Stephanie, the battle of the alphas, and he asks Larsa, like, you brought Stephanie into this group, like, did you think that her and Alexia would butt heads? And she's like, no, I thought that we were, like, all going to be friends. And she's like, well, we all, they all are now, meaning the four of them are now friends.
Yeah.
Andy brings up that Adriana thought that Alexia was threatened by younger, wealthier women.
She is.
Yeah, and she's like, well, that's Adriana's storyline. That's what Alexia said. And he's asked if anybody else feels like Alexia was threatened by Stephanie. And Guerdy's like, absolutely. Alexia said, that we welcome Stephanie with open arms, but her biggest hesitation was Adriana. And Stephanie said, oh, no, my biggest hesitation with Adriana was because you guys, meaning Alexia and Marisol, you guys pointed out, like, what her problem was. And meanwhile, I don't know if you watch, like, Guerdy and Lisa were, like, nodding their heads. And
Mhm.
Stephanie said, she's been the nicest one, meaning Adriana. Like, you guys painted this picture of her, but I chose to get to know her on my own. I'm glad she did that, and I'm glad she said it.
Absolutely. And what did Guerdy say? I have here, so Guerdy had a good point. She said that she stepped out of line and was pummeled over it. Yeah. So Guerdy said, basically, when I stepped out of line, I was pummeled for it. But Stephanie could do something similar, but she has a private jet, so it was okay.
Right.
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. She's not. Stephanie said Alexia's Chihuahua comment was an example of the way she talks down to women. And then Andy says, do you agree that Alexia talks down to women? Adriana and Guerdy said all the time. Alexia accused Stephanie of dangling her plane like a carrot. And Stephanie said, well, let me explain. When I was a little girl, we go to school on Fridays and we do show and tell. And every Friday I bring in all my stuff. And I thought this was awesome. I'd excited to show my stuff. And then if it was Andy's turn for show and tell, Andy would show all of his stuff. And I was excited to see Andy's stuff. He goes, so she's like, so I thought that this is, like, awesome. I think of my life like as an adult, like, show and tell. So it's not really a problem. Like, when I say to someone who has a plane, like, oh, I was taking pictures of my plane. They're like, oh, that's great. You've got a great plane. It's only a problem when you say it to someone who doesn't have a plane. I was like, whoa. Talk about an analogy.
Her analogies are horrible, by the way. And again, can we just agree that
We have
housewives
to.
don't get analogies?
No, they should not. They should
Or
not
Bravo
make
housewives.
them. No, they should not. Right. They should not. Like, it just doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
So, but then Andy goes, well, in your defense, this is a show that, leads off with what people have and, the accumulation of wealth. Andy asks Alexia, like, what she thinks Stephanie was trying to accomplish when talking about her plane. And that's when Alexia says she thinks it's validation. I mean, it's her accomplishments, but I feel like for us as a group, I had a conversation with Guerdy. This is when she's trying to throw Guerdy under the bus. And even Guerdy agreed, and we spoke on the phone that Stephanie came in with all this wealth. The girls automatically wanted to be friends with you. And that's when Kiki jumps in with this other statement, which not even what they were talking about. Kiki said, I guess then the case can be clear with the group. I always say this, people are running with the narrative that these women are racist. I don't think we're racist. It's a classism issue. Okay, I definitely believe it's a classism issue.
It's
Yes,
definitely a classism issue, yeah.
we say this one has more money, that one has more money. I just want to make sure we all, with all this backlash we are getting online, not her. I don't want them to think anyone here is a racist. We are not racist. That's when Guerdy chimes in and says, about the time I did speak to you, Alexia, she's pointing to Alexia, with the contest saying, damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, anything being treated like a piece of crap. She said, the plane, she can curse at you from Timbuktu. Stephanie can curse at you from Timbuktu. And okay, girl, you give her grace because she has a plane. But when I try and say what's going on, meanwhile, as she's trying to explain this, Alexia starts talking over her. Marisol jumps in. Julia jumps in. This is when I was pissed off at Andy. And Andy's not even listening. And to her, he says, okay, very good. And then he moves on. He did not even let her finish talking.
At all.
And what she was trying...
I know Guerdy can be like Dorit. Like, you do have to, like, rein her in sometimes when she's talking. But that was a very valid point she was making right there. And it was relevant to what they were talking about. And he shut her down.
He shut her down.
Yeah.
And it was so frustrating. First, Alexia starts talking over her. Marisol, let her speak.
Yep.
Let her speak. What she was saying was valid.
No, and then he moves on to Larsa and the follow thing. Like, nobody cares about this.
Actually, he moved on to Todd.
Oh, I don't even have that down.
But yeah, no, the next thing was a viewer asked.
I'm so tired of hearing about Todd, too.
I know. A viewer asked, I saw Todd's IG post about an unnamed reality TV woman flexing with her jet and flaunting her Birkins. I don't know who he could be talking about. Andy asked Stephanie, what was her reaction to this post? She's like, my reaction is still the same. I think Alexia is way too good for him. I think he really, really wants to be famous. And I think Todd's cheesy. And Andy said, to Alexia, do you agree that you and Stephanie are a lot alike? And, like, why do you think it took you so long to realize that? And Alexia said, well, I just don't think we really gave each other a chance. Andy then asked Stephanie what she learned about Alexia after getting to know her. And she said, it's very clear to me that, she's a kind person. I just have to speak to her in a certain way so it doesn't come across too harshly. I mean, I don't know.
Come on.
Then he says to Alexia, same question to you.
So basically, they're all going to become afraid of Alexia like everybody on OC is afraid of Tamra. And they're just going to let her get away with everything. I don't want to watch that.
No, I don't either. I don't.
Just like they did with Teresa on New Jersey. Like, I don't want to watch it.
No, I don't either. So then Alexia, same question to you. She said, I think she has a good heart and she could be a good friend once she's your friend and you have a friend for life. Whatever. Then they come back from another break and he asks how old Jeff is. He asks Larsa how old Jeff is, and he's 31. And does he want, Andy said more kids, and she said kids because, it's just her kids. And she's like, I think so. And then he goes about the following, the Lisa and the Marcus following. Again, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't really give a shit.
Stupid. She said her really good friends who knew what happened with her and Marcus should have unfollowed him.
Right.
All right, we get it. I actually agree with her. I agree with her, but I just can't hear it anymore.
I think that at the end of this, when Elisa says, well, everyone knows who, because Andy says, what did you mean when you said that to Larsa at the party? Like, everyone knows who you are. And she said, well, just ask, ChatGPT. Like, people know who, and then, of course, Stephanie has to read what ChatGPT says. But Larsa says that, she was in such a bad place that her family had to come stay with her. So when she's talking about that, Lisa says, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. It kind of led me to believe that there may have been some sort of DV between her in Marcus?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, I don't know, but that's the impression that I got when she was talking about it that way.
She said her kids were really affected by the breakup with Marcus. So if there
Yeah.
were, I mean, her kids must not have known.
Well, she said they were affected because they had moved in together, and it was the first person that she'd ever lived with since their father.
Yeah.
So, I think that, there was a lot riding on it. I think that, I think that there's more to it than we know. And I think that Lisa's reaction to that, like, I had no idea. And she's like, "Well,
Right.
yeah, because you didn't pick up the phone and call me." I think that the next episode, we're gonna find out a little bit more about that.
Here's the problem, though. Most of these women are only showing us what they want us to see. They're not showing us everything. And even the other women on the show with them are probably like, is it real? Is it fake? Like when Lisa said to her, your fake breakup, like she probably thought Larsa was just doing that for the show. It's got to be difficult. It's hard for us to decipher what's real and what's not. It's got to be hard for the women on the show, to decipher it with the other women on the show.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. I do. I mean, I don't know, because I think we're gonna see Jody come out and actually talk to Larsa, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's there. Russell's there.
Right.
Was anybody else there? I don't think Marisol's husband was there. I mean, she's just a friend of. We don't need her. Martina is not there.
Do you blame her? I
But
wouldn't
that
go.
guy Jeff is, but I don't think he'd come out.
I mean, if Larsa can get him out, he'll be out.
Yeah, it's true.
She likes to give her men camera time.
That was the thing with Marcus. So you could tell Marcus liked to be on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens. I do think there's more to the Larsa breakup with Marcus. I mean, she says at one point it was really toxic. I don't know.
He, if he does cocaine, like
Mhm.
we saw in those pictures, if this is a common habit of his, it certainly does not bring out a better side of you. Cocaine makes you very angry and possibly physical, I mean, not everybody, but it definitely brings out an angry side in people.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, abuse is abuse, whether it's emotional or physical. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm just, you know, reading in between the lines of what she put out there. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more. Maybe I'm, seeing something that's not there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I will say that if they get rid of Guerdy, me personally, I will not watch it for my enjoyment. I
I
mean,
totally agree with you.
I will watch it if our viewers and listeners want me to watch it and recap it. I will do it. But
Reluctantly.
yes. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.